Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Game Set Live. I know I'm probably going to say this every time, but today is an absolutely amazing, awesome Lego set. It's obviously, as you can see, the AT-AT Walker. This is the 2020 edition. We've got 1,267 pieces. This came out in the 2020 launch. I believe it was the summer. Yeah, it would have been the summer launch. I don't think it was late enough to be the fall launch. But this was an awesome set, awesome build. It took about 2.5 to 3 hours, and I went pretty quickly. But I want to take a couple minutes to, first of all, we're going to start off with the review, the full review of the set, the build, what I liked, what I didn't like. Then we're going to get into the minifigures, give you a really up-close look at that. And then we're going to round it all out with the speed time-lapse build. So make sure you stick around to the end and watch that time-lapse build. Now that we're up in the action, we're going to give you guys a nice up-close look at everything. I'm going to start out with talking about the build itself. This is a really, really sturdy build. The Technic build was very precise, very smart with how they put this thing together. It's not too wobbly. It's not just going to fall over. One thing I will note about it is if you're on a more slippery surface like this, the legs can tend to slip. So if you have them spread too far apart, it will kind of splat like a pancake. So make sure you kind of try and stay away from that depending on how you're going to display this set. Also, this cockpit right here can actually fit 3 minifigures in there. So I was really impressed with that. I know in previous AT-AT sets, they've been having trouble with fitting everything in the cockpit, but they got it this time. And also, this swing door, very easy, pulls up very easy. It's really awesome. And it's got enough seats in there for all 5 Imperial minifigures, which is really nice. So let's kind of give you guys a look in there. And in here also, you'll notice that the set comes with the E-Web Blaster. This E-Web Blaster can actually fit, I believe it just fits in like that, like so. So that'll fit in there really nicely. So you can sit your figures down in there, and those things will be good to go. And of course, both doors do come up very nicely. So that was a really good aspect of this build that I really, really liked. These side doors are snapped in with little ball joints, which I thought was kind of nice. It worked out really well. But no real issues there. I think that build style worked out. And of course, out back here, we have this opens up as well, and you'll see that the little Lance snow speeder actually fits right in here. Couldn't get the best angle and reach in there, but sure enough, there we go. Finally got it. Fits in there very nicely. So, and that of course was intended. So that's a really good storage space. The storage on this set is really awesome. If you don't want all your figures sitting out. All right. So I love the build on it. The functionality is amazing. One thing that is also awesome about this set is there are absolutely no stickers. No stickers whatsoever. You won't find any stickers on this set, which if you build Star Wars Legos, you know is not the most common thing in the world. There's usually a lot of stickers. But that being said, with talking about stickers, one thing I didn't completely like about this set was the joints on the legs. These little dome shields right here on each of the 4 legs. In another, I believe it was the motorized set, I'll include that as a picture. That was actually, they had I believe it was screen printed on there back in, when did that come out? Like 2007 or so. So I really wish that they would have included stickers, or not stickers, but screen printed on those, which of course we know isn't the most common thing for Lego to do. So I wasn't entirely surprised, but just kind of a little disappointed because when you look at a picture of a normal AT-AT walker, that's just something that it's just always there. So it would have been really nice for that to be included on the set. Another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is there are a lot of Technic colored pieces showing, which you have one up top here. You have those ones that I showed you on both sides right here. Just a lot of those pieces showing and kind of gaps in general in this set. Not the most, not the best. So you'll notice the gaps here along the head. Right here, gaps here, a lot of gaps here. Also, when we look up top, I'm not the biggest fan of this right here. So, and of course, because this does open up, any piece right there would have stopped it from opening all the way. So I get why it's like that, but I feel like they could have figured out some sort of way. And of course, you will notice this little grappling gun hanging down here. That is actually for Luke Skywalker. That's his grappling gun. And there is a little gear up here. You pull that up, and it's like he's grappling up in there. And of course, there's the little hatch door. Which side is it on? For Luke to throw his thermal detonator up in there. The detail of this set compared to other AT-AT walkers is very high. It's very impressive. I would definitely recommend if you don't have an AT-AT walker in your collection that you'd get this one. Obviously, as you can see from my other collection, I don't have an AT-AT walker, so this was definitely high on my list to get, and I got it, so I'm very proud of that. The head looks very accurate. It's not too skinny. I did notice a lot of people complaining about the eye right here, that little slit mark. I'm not too concerned about it, but I know if you're maybe a little more detail-oriented with that, it may be a turnoff to you. And of course, while I'm talking about gaps, I know it's a little more obvious because I have the flash on, but you can really see those orange pieces through there, which can be a little distracting. But, I mean, if you're not looking at this closely with the flash on, it's not the biggest deal. The other thing is the motion of this head is really, really nice. There's a joint here at the top and in the back. And actually, you will notice that it does swing back into the middle. Now, it'll sit like this. Of course, it's swinging that direction because of the way he's standing. He's leaning a little more towards the right. But because of this rubber piece right here, that little black rubber piece, he will auto center. So maybe if you're more inclined to not have it auto center like that, you could get in there and take that piece out. Although if you do have it in there, it might just be best to leave it in there. But it's more of a personal preference thing. I'm fine with it the way it is. So I'm just going to leave it in there. I have heard some comments about how the neck joint is a little bland. They've got the Technic steering wheel. I've seen in the past other AT sets where it'll be I believe it's just a round, one of the more flexible plastic pieces where they'll just have you bend it in a coil around it. It would have been nice to not be able to just see this one swing arm go across. Maybe some of these plastic pieces covering it just a little more, because obviously you can kind of see in the back there it's a little sloppy, but when you're just looking at it like this, you don't really notice these nitpicky aspects that I'm looking at. So it's not the biggest deal, but just something that that's crossed my mind as I put this together. I have so many Luke minifigures. That's not really a surprise, but we've got a Luke minifigure here. I did hear that there were some issues with, actually, I'm going to use one of the lasers as a pointer. So there were some people who found some issues with the printing on the chest, and you can see it's a little faded. Nothing absolutely absurd, but just a little faded, so something to look out for. And of course, the visor is printed on the head so you won't have to worry about the visor being a part of the helmet, as I know some people had issues with that. And let's go ahead and spin him around, look at his back. He is double-sided head, of course. So that gives you a bit better look at the two sides of his head. And we move on to the Snow Troopers. These are my first ever Snow Troopers I've ever owned, so huge fan. Definitely love these ones a lot. Very clean. They do have two, if I can, well, these helmets are actually, sometimes I have problems with the helmets not being very sturdy, but thankfully these are very sturdy helmets on there. Maybe too sturdy. Two different heads. This guy on the left looks kind of depressed. This guy on the right looks pretty determined to fight the rebellion. So they are the same except for the heads. There's their helmets. And of course the back. Same on the back as well. So you can just get a good look at that printing. Now we move on to the AT-AT pilots. Similarly to the Snow Troopers, they are the same. Each figure is the same. I do love this detailed helmet on this pilot. It's great detail. They're kind of chunky helmets, honestly. Of course, similar to the Snow Troopers, different heads. None of these guys look overtly depressed, so I guess that's a good thing. They have a more cushy job in the AT-AT Walker. So you can get a good look at them. They do have printing on the legs, similar to the Snow Troopers. And they do not have any printing on the opposite side of the heads, which isn't a big deal. You'll probably keep their helmets on most of the time anyways. And they, of course, have the sidearm blasters. Now moving on to the arguably the most important figure in this set, General Veers. He's had a couple minifigures in the past, but none have really done him as well. Let's try and move these guys out of the way. None have done him as well as they have here. So let's just pull him off. Get a good look at his head. So, of course, those goggles are screen printed on there, on his helmet. He's got an angry face on one side, and then take his helmet off with the comm link, the microphone, and then a kind of a grinny face on the other. You can get a good look at the back of his torso. Pretty plain, but I mean, just what he was doing at the time, you're not really too concerned about it. I would have liked some printing on his legs, but we didn't get any here. So if you were expecting that, then you're not going to get it. So there you go. That was our look at the AT Walker minifigures. I was impressed with the minifigures. With a set that goes for $160, you're going to get a lot of minifigures, and I think 6 minifigures does it for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the AT Walker set. If you enjoy that, make sure you stick around for the time lapse. And I know we had a couple other people. I know I had one guy comment on yesterday to see some of the sets in the back here. So if there's any that you'd like to see a review of, maybe some of the older ones, some of the ones you're not used to seeing, make sure you leave a comment below, and I'd love to cover any of those that you guys would like to see, or any future unboxings, time-lapse builds, or reviews. Let me know in the comments. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember to keep it live.